Hello, welcome to this weather update for the US and Canada. So let's see what's happening in terms of severe weather. There's nothing on the next 3 days, just some storms, some afternoon storms in Florida. Tomorrow in the Gulf, some more storms, and day 3, some more storms in the Gulf. Further up into Tennessee and other areas, some storms in Idaho for day 3. So today's Wednesday, day 3 is Friday, but what we have today is still some critical fire threat there in Wyoming, and an elevated, and also elevated from Montana to Iowa. So be aware in those areas because of the dry conditions. So as I was saying, be aware, like, because of the dry weather and especially the winds, still some gusty winds could make some critical fire weather conditions there. So be careful not to start any fires or anything. So tomorrow, still no areas. So we have some rain still on the east, some storms in the Gulf, and some mixed precipitation there in Washington. Tomorrow, similar things, some rain and mixed precipitation on Friday once again, and some storms in the south there. So no excessive rainfall, no snow or anything, just some excessive heat still in the southwest. So it's still big areas of extreme heat risk, parts of California, including like San Francisco, Sacramento, some moderate heat risk, some major heat risk near Los Angeles, moderate heat risk, so be careful there. Minor heat risk all the way to North Dakota, and moderate to major in Florida. Tomorrow, some more major and extreme in Florida. Still some extremes in the southwest. Friday, still some areas of major and extreme heat risk in the southwest, and some moderate major in Florida. Saturday, still some moderate in Florida, extreme in the southwest. Sunday, similar thing. Next Monday too. Next Tuesday, some moderate in Florida, and some like moderate in the southwest, and some major. So please be careful with the heat there. But another big topic is the rainfall that we talked about in the tropical update, heading towards Florida next, like October 7th into October 11th. So the GFS currently has like close to 10 inches in parts of western Florida and the Bahamas, and especially like southern Florida, southwestern Florida. So a very rainy week is coming towards those areas there. So please be aware, and especially central to southern Florida, more than 5 inches in many areas. So this is until October 13th, like, and most of this will be like on October 9th and October 10th. But on October 7th and 8th, there'll already be rain. So be between October 7th and October 11th. So please be aware there. There's the European model. So here, let's see a past run, like 240 hours. Here, wait. So this is until October 12th. The European has close to 10 inches in like Cape Coral, parts of southwestern Florida, more than 5-7 inches throughout southern Florida. So be aware, 6 inches, 4 or 5, so very rainy pattern there. There's also the icon, I don't know if it goes out that far, but it goes out to October 9th. Already shows a lot of rain by October 9th, but the icon usually shows more in the ocean, but it does show some overland as well. There's also the Canadian model. So if we put this until October 12th, it shows there the Canadians much further north. It's showing like central northern Florida, more than like 10 inches. There'll be like almost 12 inches according to the Canadian. Most models have South Florida, but the Canadians like central northern Florida. But it does have a lot of rain South Florida too, so better watch there. There's the let's see, there's the UK model, but it only goes out to October 10th. But by October 10th, it does show close to like 5-6 inches south central Florida. So be aware there. And the other models, let's see if they have anything interesting. There's this model here. Let's see, this model shows more towards like northern Florida, but it does have a lot of rain there, but it shows more north, so this model isn't showing much worth it. But there's the European AI model that does show more like the Canadian, more for like northern Florida, some 5 inches, so better watch there. But for now, just focus on like central southern Florida, as most models indicate. So be aware. And a closer look here, like until October 11th, it shows the European model more than 10 inches, like in southern Florida, southwestern Florida, some 8 inches. And the GFS has a little bit further south, but also has like 11 inches, 12 inches in Naples, the GFS. And yeah, so please be aware. And now the temperatures does show still more than 108 in the southwest today, some hundreds there, 105 and more. Shows like 96 in the plains, some 90s in Florida, some 80s. So be aware of the heat. So tomorrow still some hundreds, on Thursday more 90s there throughout the plains, 90s there in Florida. So be aware Thursday. And Friday shows like more 100s in the southwest there, more 90s in the southern plains, and 80s there. And the night from Thursday to Friday does show some much colder temperatures coming in, right? Some 30s North Dakota, some 30s there in Montana, especially in the mountains, close to like some low 30s in the mountains. So some 40s, high 30s in parts of northern Minnesota. So colder temperatures coming there during the night. And like day 3, minimum temperatures from Friday to Saturday shows some 20s in the higher mountains of Montana, and some 30s there in 40s, but nothing crazy. Day 3 for Friday, the maximum temperature is still some 100, some 90s there, and on the southeast. So be aware. Day 4 Saturday shows more 90s all the way to Iowa, more 90s on the southwest, especially 100s like California and Arizona and southern Nevada. So be careful with the heat. Some 80s in Florida. Day 5 next Sunday shows more all the way to 112 in the southwest, 90s there on the southern plains, and some 80s in Florida. So be aware there. The heat. And day 6 more 100s in the southwest, some 90s in southern Texas, and some 80s and 70s in north areas. So be aware there. And the night from Sunday to Monday shows still some 40s there in the north, and some 30s in the mountains there, some chillier temperatures. And day 7 next Tuesday shows still some 80s in the plains, some 100s on the southwest, and in Florida there, some 90s in Texas. So be aware those areas. And the wind gusts still showing strong winds in Montana and Wyoming, especially Wyoming, more than 50-mile-per-hour gusts occasionally in Wyoming. So be aware there's not very, but gusty winds throughout a big portion of the northern central US. So be aware there. And wait, here. So the warnings, we still have some like red flag warnings in the plains, parts of the Rockies, and high wind warnings in Wyoming, high wind watches in Montana, and some excessive heat warnings and advisories there in the southwest. Some air quality in Texas, and some flood advisories in the east there. So be careful in those areas. And just one more thing. So wait. So day 1 through 7 the precipitation. They already have close to 5 inches in Florida, like some 4 or 5 inches setting up there. A lot in the northwest, not a lot, but some in the northwest from those Pacific systems, and some in the northeast, but fairly dry throughout the central US there. So let's see some wind warnings in northern Canada, in Nunavut and Quebec, some wind warnings there. And now let's see more what's happening. So we have that system like in Nunavut and Manitoba, some snow there today into Nunavut, and still some rain and snow British Columbia and Alberta there, and shows like into Yukon, parts of Northwestern Territories and Alaska, some snow, and there will be more rain like southern Alaska on Thursday, and some more snow there in some areas. The snow continues in Nunavut, even northern Ontario shows a tiny snow probability, and continues there in Nunavut. And then we have that system affecting like southern British Columbia on Friday, might bring some rain to Washington too, and northern Oregon, and then shows the snow in the mountains there, British Columbia and Alberta, and a tiny hint of snow possible like Montana and Idaho. So this system keeps going. It forms there like in Alberta, Saskatchewan, goes towards Manitoba. This next Sunday, the 6th, does show some snow in Manitoba, more rain throughout Ontario, parts of the Great Lakes, and moves into Quebec, and it's still showing some snow behind it there. Then it turns into a like bigger system next Tuesday as it goes into the Atlantic there. So we better watch these systems. This is the GFS, the European show like the snow there in Nunavut and even northern Saskatchewan and Manitoba, that rain and snow there in parts of British Columbia and Alaska, but western Alaska, there's that big system coming from Russia, like Thursday the 3rd, shows that big system entering western Alaska with heavier rain and maybe some snow in the higher elevation. So be aware, this system traverses there like western southern Alaska with some heavy rain and snow there in the mountains, and eventually gets to like Canada with some more snow there across Yukon, Northwestern Territories and British Columbia by Saturday the 5th, some more snow there. Then does show like Sunday the 6th, a new system trying to make its way to like southern Alaska, British Columbia with more rain and snow for like Yukon and other areas. So we'll watch that. And in terms of wind gusts, still some very strong winds throughout Nunavut and northern Quebec from this system, so still be careful with the winds there. But then we have this system setting up there, like Friday, shows this compact low pressure here in like British Columbia there, near Vancouver Island and some areas. And some very gusty winds, like some 60, 70 km/h gusts. But then after that system arrives there, there'll be these gusty winds setting up like Alberta, northern Montana, some gusty winds into Nevada and Idaho. Shows very gusty winds like northern California, Nevada, Friday there, the 4th, more than 73 km/h gusts, will be like some 45 mile/h gusts. They're like southern Idaho, 48 mile/h. Not areas there, especially like northern Montana, close to 48 mile/h gusts. So, and southern Alberta, some 77, 70 km/h gusts. So please be careful those gusty winds. And then Friday, those very strong winds continue traversing Idaho there, and this will be potentially like some 60 mile/h gusts, like 56 mile/h gusts in Idaho for Friday. So wait, what happened here? Here. So, and then also Wyoming showing some gusty winds, and most of northern Nevada. This like Saturday, very early on Saturday, shows like more than 57 mile/h gusts in Montana, continues to central Montana next Saturday, and then goes towards like North Dakota, Saskatchewan, not areas. So like South Dakota too, some very gusty winds. And wait, Show especially North Dakota more than 58 mile per hour gusts next Saturday afternoon. So please stay safe there. Minnesota also, but in Colorado showing a field of gusty winds next Saturday afternoon to Wyoming, and even Wisconsin a little bit gustier. So be aware there. And now shows more than 81 km per hour in Saskatchewan. Shows, and then this moves into Manitoba. Shows some very high winds in those lakes there. Not there is more than 85 km per hour gusts. And then some very high gusts in the Great Lakes like Sunday into Ontario. So please be aware. Then still showing some gusty winds in the backside of this next Sunday. So please be careful in those areas. Just for comparison, the GFS has also this there. Some gusty winds developing all through the northern US next Friday and Saturday in southern Canada, and going there further north into Canada early next week. So be careful with that system. And snow accumulation, the GFS shows more snow for Manitoba, Saskatchewan until next Monday, and even some snow in Ontario there, some light snow, and a lot in the mountains of British Columbia, Yukon, even northwestern territories, but especially southern Alaska. Might get more than 160 centimeters of snow in those mountains, like close to 56 inches. So please be aware there. And then let's see, more snow in northern Nunavut, in the Arctic there. And now the European model has some snow in Montana and Idaho, a little bit in Washington too, a tiny hint in Oregon, but mainly Washington, British Columbia more, southern Alaska a lot from that system. The European has more than 81 inches of snow there, the mountains of southern Alaska, so be aware. Northwestern Ontario, Manitoba, and some in Saskatchewan, and Nunavut, Northwestern Territories, even some in Quebec there, so be aware of the system and stay safe. The temperatures are still very cold there, so take a look at this. This like during the night and early morning shows negative temperatures throughout all those areas there in Alaska, Yukon, Northwestern Territories, Nunavut. Some very negative temperatures there, 21 like in Alaska, some 28 Fahrenheit, 12 Fahrenheit, so that's like very low temperatures. Be aware there. And then throughout like Yukon, some -3 Celsius, -7, -9, some mountains of British Columbia, and Alberta, some very negative temperatures as well. So be aware of those temperatures. Just a teeny bit warmer southern Ontario and Quebec, close to 20 degrees, but it's generally very cold there. So be careful with those cold temperatures and everything.